I have a very genuine question. It's called. Can you hear me? Because. Okay, I can hear myself on the stream. Well, never mind. Because we have a piece of a debut today in Yarrow F1. Well, if you know, this is a driver who is known. Well, I won't be somebody who is like idolizing him or something like. But you know that this man was in F1 Esports Challengers. Are we already going? Okay, it's an hour. It's an hour. Never mind. Uh, I will switch to the game screen as soon as the lobby starts. Yep, there we go. Hello everyone. Hello everybody on the chat. I mean, coming back to the debut. And the fact that this man was in F1 Esports Challengers and I have seen him getting some points. So he's very, very close to esports. I mean, he's racing in Renault today, and I guess you know this nickname. Like if he says anything in ERO chat, he's just like me. Because he instantly gets like 69 pings. He's one of the two drivers still choosing the tires. Now it's only Champ. We have 17 on the grid today, and of course one unreported absence because we cannot have a race without unreported absence. Even though we survived with that for 4 race weekends. Sorry, congratulations for the first unreported absence this season. Everyone is picking the tires, and I think it's time. Well, maybe I make the sound a bit. There we go. Welcome to Bahrain Grand Prix. I will just correct the voice settings because I don't want to overhear this. There you go. And it's alright. This man is called Guil. And he's racing in Renault today. The PSG's champion of season 26. I have recently read that on Twitter, like just a moment ago. So don't blame me if I don't have any other knowledge than him being very fast. We have a debut today of Guil racing in Renault, and that's actually it. An absolute debut. Actually not, because he was racing in Classic League in Season 2 once only, but still he did that. It's Wojtinho of course here, if you ask. And I'll be commentating alone Bahrain Grand Prix today. With 18 drivers on the grid, because Third will join us, I think very very soon, during qualifying he said. I don't understand Finnish, but I guess it's somebody supporting Will, so hello. I'm already going to ask, who is going to be a winner today? How is your prediction? Because with 17 drivers with a very top level, everyone is very close to each other. They can fit within a second in Baku, like the majority of them. So how it will look like? So how it will look like in Bahrain today. We have already some drivers on the hot lap, so I will turn on the minimap. Renault is the first one to start a lap time, and guess what? It's Goyle. If they don't screw up his race, Yagi will win. This is a prediction after his... This is kind of a wise prediction, because he got a pole position in Baku and he got a podium there also. This man has a potential, like everyone else on the grid. The first two divisions are the ones where everyone can win, except the F2 because I cannot win. Just kidding. I hope I will do a victory at least. But coming back to F1, Goyer's already in Sector 2 and we will see how is his lap time. Is he going to dominate this season? Maybe not this season, but this race. And maybe a few more if he participates, but I guess he will. Not in every. He has the fastest Sector 2, but it's kind of logic because he is the first man to do a lap. As he's going through the final corner in Bahrain. And he goes with 125.2. The pole position lap in F2 division was 125 at 24.9. Made by Wagener, a Ferrari driver. How is the race going? Tilfluk is very close with 125.2. Then we have Maxro. And we have a first fastest lap under 125. It's Brett with 124.9. So it's looking very promising. Looks like we have more and more drivers completing. We have Pricky finishing a lap. As he goes in 8th with 126.0. There's also Williams. Westa is 8th. Now I'll switch to the racing point of Vilzu because he's coming through the final corner. With already yellow flags and Haas letting by probably. Vilzu goes 8th with 125.3. See how close it is. From 124.9 to 125.4 from 1st to 9th. And we have only... And we still have 5 drivers on the lap. The first row belongs to Brett and Julian for now, and then Trustmake with Champ. So we have domination of AlphaTauri and Haas. Looks like Fofana has no fuel. What about Tantam and Yagijan? Yagijan goes with no ERS, so probably there will be another time he will try. Yellow flags in sector 3, but it's people letting by each other. Tamtam goes P12 with 125.5. And Fofana will go to the pits. So that's the end of the first stint of qualifying. We'll start another one very, very soon. If you ask about the lower divisions, what do you think about sprint races in Euro like F2? Well, I'm not a fan of this idea, to be honest. Because we generally meet here to make one race per week and to have a community talks. But yeah, to be honest, how this would work? The sprint races. I'm reading the chat if you ask. And I'm gonna ping people because, yeah, you know why. Okay, mentioned everyone. There we go. Everyone is in the garage except Alfa Romeo. And already a Ferrari goes out of it, so Fofana goes into the garage, picks a new setup, or no, picks new tires, and goes out straight. 25% after main race. Like 5 minutes of break to 10 and then already 25%. Like, do you mean lower divisions or 5 laps? We would do a sprint championship, to be honest, like a separate one. But I wouldn't say that putting this in the league racing is actually a great idea. Like in a general divisions like F1, F2, F3. Or maybe we would test that as the qualifying. Like, that would be way better qualifying in some some tracks to make it a 25% of 5 laps instead of an actual race. I don't know. Well, I guess I'll be back with the Bahrain Grand Prix because Fofana is warming up his tires. Axe and Yagishan are starting their laps right now. The Turkish is the first one to do it. And Axe is starting it, so we'll stay with the Red Bull driver. There's unfortunately no teammate today for him. It's Tobias, but he cannot race today. He has access to one, but about Tobias, the F2 champion of last season has won also in F1 back in Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Looks like he has a major chance to finish at least in top 10 this season. And another fun fact about himself winning is that he's the 4th winner this season in F1 division. We have already seen Julian, Vilsu, Luke and Tobias winning. Who's going to be the next? Or maybe we'll have somebody from these 4 to win again. I said everyone can win. Fastest lap for Yagishan, but I guess it may be a personal fastest lap. He's going into the final corner, he has Haas ahead of him, but it's far enough to not destroy his lap time. He has locked up. Guil went further, by the way, with 125.0, and Yagishan goes second with 124.9. And now it's time for Fofana to finish. He goes P9 with 125.1. There's Wiese about to start a hot lap with Loki right behind him, both warming up his tires. And Axe finishes in 125.3. This makes him P13. Bricky with not the best lap time currently with 126.0, but I guess himself and Westerhouse will catch up very soon. We know about the tires, everyone is on softs, so there's no story about that. Brett comes to the pits. Is there anyone else on the hot lap? Drasmake heads into the pits. Champ is in a hot lap, same as both Racing Point drivers. And the closest one to a line is Guil, but I assume he has done a lap already. Like here, he's coming to the pits. So there's a Ferrari next, but I guess it's Luke starting. I just remembered about his accident in Season 2 in this track on the last corner when he clashed with his teammate Gayet then, which cost him being P6. And it was right after himself winning in Australia in his ERO debut. Old good times, if you want to ask. Meanwhile, there is Patrick finishing a lap. He's improving slightly. That slightly, that it's 1/10, and it's worth going from 8th to 4th. However, his teammate goes 5th with 125.060. So look at these gaps. Julian is 32 thousandths ahead of Patrick. Oh no, we'll go with Max, who has just done 3rd place. Oh no! Just look at this. We have 15 drivers within 4/10. This shows how close is racing in the division. Also, I see a Williams going to the line, but it's Westerhouse going to the pits very soon. You didn't see anything with this, and this might be interesting. Like, we can try it instead of normal qualifying. Like, we go 1 shot, then 25%, and then it's, or 5 laps, and then we go with... Okay. I'll fix it, don't worry. There we go. Should work. Or maybe I'll just do this. Okay. This should be better now. Maybe like this. Fixed, I hope. Now it's Loki heading into the pits. He has done 7th lap time this session. Loses 4 thousandths of a second behind just Mike. And around 51 thousandths of a second behind his teammate. I'm just checking if anyone is on the lap. It's Guil probably. Sam's current pole sitter Brad. We'll stay with the Haas driver. As he's going through the sector 2. Through the turns, through the chicane that literally took Alex and Trick out. It happened in the F3 race. I'll just start talking about the lower division. Because in F3 there was kind of an action, like typical for this division. But there was also something special. Like you could see frequently that some drivers crash into the turn where Guil is, starting sector 3. You could see, or you could experience that there were so many spins on this track. It's very easy to clip the curb and spin, but have you ever seen two drivers doing this at the same time? Like, one is, Alex is right ahead of Rick, like by half of a second. And they both spin out, and Alex goes upside down. This is what happened in F3 race yesterday. Meanwhile, Ricky starts a lap. Hope it will be a better one than the one he has right now. 3 minutes to go, by the way. As you're going with the McLaren driver, he improved by himself by 3/10, but he can still further improve in the next corners. By the way, a question to you, Garland. Is it fixed? Like, I tried, because I can hear the in-game audio pretty well, and I can see it's working on the preview. Like, any feedback is useful, because sprint races can be something special. We'll discuss it, not for this season, but for the next one. Why not? Right now we have Esteban Ocon on the grid, but it's probably Ferret. Yep, we have literally Esteban Ocon starting. The F1 driver has decided to retire from F1 and join the RO. And I assume it's Ferret. Like, why is Esteban Ocon still here? Brett retired, so he will not improve his lap time. This is not what we approve, Ferret. I mean, it might be the glitch, but we'll count him as Ferret de Souza. As now Jagishan is on the hot lap. Fofana has done 124.7, which means he's second, but he might be easily beaten by all the drivers. Remember, if I can't race, then I still watch it. Well, that's very nice. Is there any driver going to finish? It's Racing Point, I see. It's not Fields, it's Loki, but he's starting. Tam goes 7th. What about the Haas driver, Champ? He starts, it seems, or he didn't improve. What about the Mercedes drivers? Both on the hot, both starting. Jagjan makes the fastest lap, 4 thousandths of a second ahead of Brad. What about Guil? He's starting. So we have drivers joining in the literally last second. Semes Ferret He will not make the hot lap. So Esteban Econ, aka Ferry de Souza, is not making a lap today, unfortunately. I hope this will fix by the next session, which is called a race. Fofana lets everyone by. Jackson has done the fastest lap. Both AlphaTauri is crossing the line. It's Julian about to finish it. As he goes before. And stays there. Trust makes 6. There's Alfa Romeo driver. It's Axe. Finishing it. As he goes into the final straight and he goes 5th ahead of his teammate. Yellow Saxon Sector 2. There's also Racing Point finishing a lap. It's Loki. He's in the pits. His teammate. Loki goes 5th with 124.8. Is everyone else not in the hot lap anymore? Oh, there's Guil, our debut driver. How is the Frenchman going to finish? He's going 4th with 124.8. Luke also improves to get 10th. Everyone else is has finished their laps. Simracing is not trying anymore. Like, why there is still Ocon here? So, we have Jagiellonis in the pole position, but look at the gap. Just 0.004 of a second ahead of Brett. Then we have Fofana with 124.780. Then we have a bit of gap, but Guil is 4th with 124.847. And then we have Julian 7 thousandths behind. Loki 8 thousandths behind. Then we have the rest of the drivers. I remember it, maybe Axe. 6th place for Loki, and with that. So there you go, you can see the gaps. All of the drivers have the hot lap, except Ferret, but he hasn't finished. They have a hot lap within half of a second. This is a very equal league, and it's proven right here. To be honest, I haven't seen such an equal division, even though F2 is close to each other. In another league, I know which one, I saw different point system. Drivers get points from 1st to 50, 1 to 15 positions, so they don't retire in any case. This might be something. Like for season 6, which I hope it will be a revolution, like not in terms of taking over my ownership but in terms of organizing this league, like it's a European racing organization has to become a European racing reorganization. Then we will do something, maybe some of the ideas. Even though I very much like the current point system, like the real one. Hello, Joe. I hope I pronounce your name properly. We have time to now tell you how is the situation in standings of F1 division. Julian leads with 47 points. Then we have 5 points behind him. There is Axel. Third is Brett with 2 second places, 39 points. And then it's equal again. Patrick 38, Luke and Tobias 37, Visu 34, Jagiellonis 27, Loki 26, Fofana and Tamtam 21. Trustmaker and West goes with 13, Maxro has 10. This is a disappointing start of the season for the champion, who was twice in a row a champion. Mikulitsi 6 points, but he's a reserve, and Javier 1 single point. Rest of the drivers have no points. So Even though we have only 16 drivers scoring points, it's pretty much equal. Who's that Renault? It's Geo. Okay, like J-O. I tried. Who's that Renault? It's Guil. And the empty Renault is Ferry de Souza. He was Esteban Ocon in qualifying, but he has changed back to the Turkish man. And this is the question if he will get points today. For the first time in his Euro career. Yagran, as I remember, has got second pole position in a row. Like, he has done it again in Azerbaijan. Now he's doing it for the second time because he's got the pole position in Bahrain. Tires? Thanks, Funky, because I forgot completely. There we go. Top 10 softs. And everyone else x that champion Vitsu on mediums. All of the story. Yagjan will put his car on the grid very soon. Last car is approaching as well. It's Ferret. So empty Renault, remember it's Ferret. But we cannot do anything about this game being so glitchy. He even has Esteban Ocon's number. Okay, let's go to the Bahrain Grand Prix action. Because it's time to see if it's going to be Ferret, or Brett, or Fofana, or maybe Guil going for the first place into turn 1. We have seen some carnages at the start in F2, in F3, in PC2, and many more divisions. How it's going to be now? It's lights out and away we go. It's Yagishan with a pretty good start, and he boosts up pretty well. He got to the first place with Brett like right behind him, who's now trying to go around the outside. But Yagishan goes down the inside and he still has the lead. No, Brett takes it into turn 2. We have already lost access to 1. It's Max out of the pack right now. Yagishan is the leader again. They're going wheel to wheel. The two championship contenders into turn 4, and we're heading into sector 2. That's a very equal battle. There is also Gui right behind them, seeking for an opportunity to get the first place for instead of both of them. Now he's going around the outside of Brett. All of the drivers lock up. Remember that we have no ABS in this division. As now Brett goes into turn 10 with everyone else. It's only Max right behind. We have everyone very close to each other. As now Yagishan goes down the inside into turn 11. Now he goes back to the racing line. We're going into the turns 12 and 13. And there is turn 14. Brett is still in second place. But remember, he has 4 tenths behind Yagishan. And this means we'll have DRS in lap 3. You will see that right now, but it's about standings being glitchy in this game. So right now you will see Yagishan making a faster start. But you can also see that there's already lap 3. Kuil is dropping, but it's also the case of standings. You can also see Alfa Romeo of Axe and Luke fighting wheel to wheel into turn 1. We will switch to both of them. Axe is ghosting, but it's not his fault. He's not out of the lobby. Loki also tried to overtake Fofana into 4th place into turn 4, and he does it perfectly even before it. Well, I'm kind of confused because Guil seems to be third still. Yep. He stays at the 3rd place. It is just a confusion named standings being glitchy. As Maxo has already dealt with Ferret, he has snowing damage, or a minor one. Yes, he has the damage, but that isn't anything major. Might go to the pits with that. So you have literally a train of 18 drivers. But when in lap 3 the DRS will be enabled, we'll see great action with many overtaking opportunities such as turn 1, turn 4, maybe even turn 11. The drivers will mainly rely on DRS straights in the circuit, and maybe some wheel-to-wheel battling. as Ferret overtakes Max Rowe. Brett does the fastest lap. We have no DRS enabled, but Brett is already trying to overtake Jagishan to first place. He has won the race on track in Azerbaijan, but after penalty removals, he dropped to second. Tobias has won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Now he's looking for kind of revenge and get that victory. And he goes for it into turn 4, takes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix, but Jagishan doesn't give up. They go wheel to wheel into next chicanes. And Brett is the one to go ahead, even though Jagishan tries to go down the inside. This may finish with an accident, but Jagishan takes the lead back, and Goyle tries to go around the outside of a British driver. Yellow flags in sector 2, it's somebody already being out. Goyle goes down the inside into turn 10, takes second place, and he might even get DRS to overtake Jagishan into turn 11. Yellow flags in sector 2 again, but there's no one on the track. Brett tries to go into turn 11 with second place. He goes wheel to wheel with Goyle again. Great driver he is. Actually, both they are in this battle. Goyle, the debut driver, the F1 Esports Challenger contender, takes second place. But now Brett fights back. Yeah, it only helps Jagishan because he can escape while they are fighting. Brett and Goyle both look up, but Brett takes second place. Julian is going wheel to wheel with the Renault driver, and Loki is also taking an opportunity. This is going to be literally a free wide into turn 1. With Loki right behind them. Julian takes the second place. Brett tries to fight back and go down the inside. There was a contact. And we have again the free wide. Goyle has to back out in terms of if he wants to not crash. And Folter is fighting. Loki as well overtakes the French driver. And look at Jagishan, he's already over a second head. You can also see that Julian and Brett keep fighting into turn 8. And Julian takes the second place. Again wheel to wheel, Goyle and Loki. Accent Fofana still following the battle. Now it's going to be very close, because this is a very heavy braking point, one of the hardest in the entire calendar. As now it's Brett keeping the third place, but remember he has DRS. Julian doesn't, because he's over a second behind Jagishan. This action helped the Turkish driver to extend the lead. Meanwhile on the second side, Max is losing 30 seconds, because he probably has pitted. Now he hopes for a safety car to get him close to the pack again. Luke already gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, even though it's hard to get one on this track. I barely got one warning in F2 division. We have yellow flags for 3. It's Tam is spun. So we have a first spin actual, not related to a start. And also there's a massive battle for the 4th place. Goyle goes ahead of Loki, but both drivers have DRS. Who will use it better? Loki goes into turn 4 with 4th place. No, they are going wheel to wheel. And Goyle keeps it. Goyle stays 4th, but he has to seek for a podium. And maybe make myself and the sound and the game louder by a little bit. You can tell me if it's working. Meanwhile, we'll go to the action for the 4th. Goyle will have no DRS on Brett because he's just over a second behind. And the British driver has it to try overtaking Julian. Meanwhile, all of the drivers got a bit closer to Jagishan. You can see that's around a second of a gap. And Julian's already in DRS, but he will have no slipstream because it works from like 0.7 of a second. Alex is also the one to join the battle. Luke already has 3-second time penalty. This pushes him out of the point. You can see that he's 4.8 and he would be 7.8. Yep, he's P12. Brett catches up to Julian. We're driving with the British driver with number 50. Now he has DRS again. He uses overtake mode. Many of the drivers will have little power when they will go to the pit. And Julian now goes down the inside. Can he keep the position? There's a difficult line for Brett, like the harder one to keep the traction, and now he keeps the third place, so he not overtake Julian at least until like the next DRS zone, because I doubt somebody will try to overtake into turn 10 unlike your Guil, and you can keep it clean. Unless, actually, I should say. Brett doesn't use any ERS power, and remember that Julian may be in slipstream very soon of Jagijan. Both Ferraris are very close to each other. And we can see that this is such of a pack. There are 16 drivers going very close to each other, and the gap between the leader and 16th place, where is Ferret, is 9 seconds. This hasn't ever happened, as I remember, unless there was a safety car. Can anyone tell me it's English? But I'm not a native speaker. So you can hear the weird accent. We'll go to the back because Ferret fights Wester as they go wheel to wheel. And Ferret might take the 15th place. They're going wheel to wheel still. He has a contact with Wester. He stays 16th. We'll go to the front again. Fofana overtakes his teammate into P7. As both Ferret drivers are very close to each other, they have to get some teamwork. I'm Poland, not Japan. Oh! Fofana had a moment. And there is also a contact between him and Patrick, and there are yellow flags into one. It's Max being spun completely. Both Patrick and Fofana, after a lockup into turn 10, lose a couple of places. Fofana only goes P14, and I think he has... No, he doesn't have wing damage, surprisingly. But Patrick might have... No, he doesn't get any damage as well, so... Even though they had such a contact... Thank you for the like, Gaston. I hope you stay for longer. Also, Julian is very close to Jagijan. What happened? He went into... Okay, I'll stay with the action because Julian overtakes Jagijan into turn 1. And the Red Bull and AlphaTauri driver keep fighting. There's also Red right behind Julian at the moment. And both of the drivers overtaking him. Julian is into the gravel. And Guil has barely overtook him into 3rd place. Brett takes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And Hassan filling this up. He's also racing in the wheel, not in the pad anymore. We have 5 drivers very close to each other. As you can see, there is also some McLaren, Mercedes, and Haas fighting in the background. But we'll stay with the top 5. Luke is 1.7 behind. He has a penalty. This interrupts him getting any points. Well, like, pad is, if you are on pad, you're more sensitive in terms of throttle accelerating or braking. And that's why some people call it better. But in terms of timing, you can see the Monaco. And we have all of the top 5 drivers going to the pits at the same time. No, Guil does not. He will stay for one more lap at least. And he takes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix with Virzu and Tricky fighting with Patrick right behind him into 3rd place. Let's see how the drivers in the top 5 will finish for... not top 5, like top 5 except Guil. Will finish after the pits. And which tires they have put? Not this. I mean this. So everyone except Fofana has gone on hards. Fofana goes on soft, so he'll probably try going down for softs for like 7 to 8 laps, and then for mediums until the end of the race. This is what I assume. Fofana gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so both Ferrari drivers are the only ones to get a penalty. Champ is looking for an opportunity to overtake Ricky because McLaren driver seems to be out of DRS very soon, like he's 8 tenths behind, but the gap is rising, so I guess it will be 1 second very soon, or maybe not. He's catching back again. Well, I had to say something about that. Hearts are very bad. And yes, I haven't got any grip as well, and Guil goes into the pit. What is now the debut drive going to do? Unless Max spins again. And now Guil goes for Hearts, and he will try to finish a race on them, but he has one more lap in terms of tires life. Will he go ahead of another penalty? He will not go ahead of Brett or Yakijan or even Axe. Where will he go out on track? He will go wheel to wheel with Julian, and he finishes on the track right behind him. This means he has not only Julian to attack, but Loki to defend from him for the 13th place. And Loki now takes it. Or maybe not, because he has gone too much around the outside. And Guil takes the 13th place back. Now he'll catch up to Julian again. Vilso is now the leader of the race. But he will pit, like, not now, because he's on hard. So he might go on these until like lap 20 and then for softs. Or maybe he's trying hard mediums. We will see. However, had a bit of a moment because he was on the other line than the racing line. Maxro gets 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I think this one will be cancelled if it was a pure spin, but there's such a trouble for the F1 champion. Meanwhile, Ferret goes for the pits from mediums, so he might have wing damage if he pits that early. Yep. And he goes for the medium tires. Meanwhile, Julian makes the fastest lap on hard. We'll go with Champ, Ricky and Westerhouse. We'll see how those three drivers will fight for currently 4th place, but we'll also see after the pits how it develops. Now we're going into turn 10 of the pack. Which also has both Mercedes drivers right behind him. Javier only 1 point this season. He hopes for a better result today to get more. Only 5 tenths of difference between Racing Point and Mercedes. And 6 more tenths ahead of second Mercedes. We've also seen a Ferrari letting by Trustbank. What is going on with Fofana? I can't see from this camera, come on. Can we get a better one, please? But he tends to spin. He saves that, but it's a very big moment for Fofana now. He hits the cap. He's sliding so much. And now he needs to hope for a safety car. Looks like he's only on 2 laps old softs. So I don't know what is going on with his tires. We switch to Axe and Julian because they fight wheel to wheel into turn 1. Will the Dutch driver take the 10th place? And is he to be the first driver to win twice in the season? As now you can see Axe goes maybe down the inside, maybe around the outside into turn 4. They are going wheel to wheel into sector 2. Fofana retires in the pits. So that's the end of the race for the French driver. Max was just passing him, very far behind. But now Julian tries going down the inside, and he goes ahead of Axe. Sebis Guil might try. We'll see how those two Frenchmen will behave into turn 10. They stay on the current positions. Fofana has left. just as a confirmation of his retirement. I guess we will go to the front because we have both Mercedes drivers very close to Vilzu, which is a completely different strategy. Meanwhile, Westerhout goes to the pits. As you have DRS on. Is it going to be one of the Mercedes drivers trying to get the second place, or maybe they will try to overtake Vilzu? Both of them stay behind the racing point. And we are switching into the battle in current midfield, but provisionally the top, because remember that top 6 has not pitted yet. They keep being on mediums or hards. As you could see. I wonder if we will stay with top 3 or the rest of the field, because you can see that Brett is already 1.5 of a second ahead of Jagijan. So Jagijan is out of Brett's DRS. Also, Patrick is 4/10 behind Vilzu, like half of a second, around that. Javier goes into the pits. We'll see, because Patrick is closing. How is the man who was second last season? Will attack Vilzu. We're going into the second DRS zone. This is another chance for the Romanian to take first place. Will he go to the lead? No, Vilzu is too far. But I guess we will stay with those two. By the way, I keep following the standings because everyone is close to each other. We'll switch again, but everyone is going politely in the train. No overtakes happening soon. Like, I'm kind of surprised, but we'll stay with Patrick because he's the chance. He will probably go to the pits very soon. I wonder if it will be another mediums or soft tires. But if he would pick mediums, if he picked mediums, he would be forced to pit for softs then again. Or maybe he will go hards until the end. But then he was supposed to pit a bit earlier, like lap 12. I wonder what is Mercedes doing with this strategy. But if you ask about Javier, he's going on hards. Everyone except Tam and Patrick is on hards right now. And Patrick goes into the pits, as I said. So Champ takes second place for now, but still he has to pit. Where will Patrick finish after a pit stop? Is he going to be anywhere close behind the pack? Okay, this was a glitch. Don't worry about him. He will be behind Brett and Jagijan and behind all of the pack, which is fighting now. Or maybe, I don't know. They're a bit too far from each other, but there's Loki trying to go down the inside on Guil. That's right, now Loki is a bit pushed out of the track. But still, Renault has taken the 7th place. We can actually say he's taken it back. We're going through the DRS zone after turn 10. As we have Vilzu still on the lead. Let's see the leader gap, because I am curious. Where will Vilzu finish after a pit stop? Like, where he will be after the pit? If he'll go for mediums, of course. He stays on track, same as Champ. But they are supposed to be around P10, P11 after the pit stop. Betkins already escaped by over a second from Jagijan. I will switch back to interval. As we have another time, we have the train going into turn 1. But remember, there is both Mercedes drivers going right behind. Like, there are currently less than 3 seconds, or around 3 seconds, behind the group fighting from 3rd to 10th. Everyone is very close to each other. Actually 5th to them, because Brett and Jackson managed to get away. The gap between Mercedes is around half of a second. Haasman has left, but he's only a host. I'm just reminding about watching. There we go. Vildo stays on track. And Champ pits. I have just noticed that. Will be the hard driver after a pit stop. He's going for medium tires, so he'll be faster than the hard runners. But remember, his tires will wear also as well a bit faster than the ones who have car tires. I know my ability to create sentences is not the best. Meanwhile, Pricky fights Wester to be 12th. Vildo is around 11.5 of a second ahead of Brett. I think this might be the time when he will pit. And we'll see if his gap ahead of Champ will stay. Meanwhile, Champ is behind Wester and Pricky, and the same situation as in the past, like 10 laps ago, happens again when all the soft runners have pitted, and we have Pricky, Wester, and Champ fighting. Where it was like 5th place or something. And Champ gets the P13. I guess it's a matter of time when he will overtake Pricky. And Vildo has gone into the pit. He will not be the leader after that. That's for sure. Brett takes the 1st place of the Grand Prix, and this is the time where he really can win a race. Then we had Jagijan. Vildo gets out of his pit crew, and he'll be around Mercedes drivers. He has been undercutted, even though they are both going on different strategies. Mercedes has done a better job in terms of that. Vildo is P11, but he has medium tires. So this means he has a chance to catch up and overtake back. We still have the train with everyone being very close to each other, even though Julian seems to escape very, very slowly. He's now 9/10 behind, but now Axel probably uses all of his power to catch up. No, he's over a second behind. And now he has Squirrel right on his tail, who looks for the 4th place. We're going for the final sector with the Renault and Alfa Romeo driver, and I just wonder how the tires going to be at the end of the race, because Bahrain is the place where it's pretty difficult to manage them. Will uses a bit of his power. Is it enough to overtake Axel, who has literally none of it? Champ makes the fastest lap meanwhile, so at least 1 point added for the Racing Point driver, Haas driver. And Vildo has done a double overtake on Mercedes, and now he goes in. Good also overtakes Axel. There is an action happening here. The debut driver goes for the 4th. Maxwell spins again. With yellow flags in sector 23, but it's Max recovering. We're going into lap 20 very, very soon. It's only 10 laps to go of the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm just going to say, you may leave a like button. Like, I'm not forcing you, but if you want to have some action at the end, you know what to do. Like, I'm again begging for likes. Meanwhile, Loki has a little bit more ERS power than Axe. This may help out in terms of overtaking for the 5th place. And the Racing Point driver goes for it round the outside. But he still is on 6. Just Mike also tried to overtake Luke, but he stays behind. You know, after the penalties, he'll be ahead of the Ferrari. And now Loki goes will to will with Axe. And still in 6, even though he seems to be a bit faster. I just wonder if Guil's tires will pay out. Meanwhile, Champ overtakes Javier. There was a contact between Haas and Mercedes drivers, but I see no damage. So that's fortunate. Like, not unfortunate. I mean, fortunate. Luckily, we don't have any debris going on here. This is not Baku. As Loki now goes very close to Axe. And now Luke gets another 3-second tap penalty. We have seen he barely, very barely, but still went out of the track. Luke has 6 seconds, Ricky has 3. So Luke is currently out of the points, technically. Loki will try to overtake Axe again. Now he uses no ERS, but he has DRS, and this helps him out to get the 5th place in the Bahrain Grand Prix. But Axe tries to fight back. He has no DRS. Same as Luke has caught to everyone. Like, you can see he's 8th, even though after the pit he was behind Mercedes. Axe now has to defend from Luke, and there is a contact, and Ferrari is almost spun. After this move, Luke drops into 9th, Axe into 7th, because Filsu managed to avoid the carnage. Like, this is a minor very carnage, but still, he goes P6. Now it's a question if Loki will lead by him. How is going to be the teamwork between them? Because Filsu's on the way faster tires. He may even seek for the 4th place if he keeps being that quick. You haven't even realized that he has gone from like P12 to P6. Because he has jumped 6 places up, 7 places up. Even though I have, according to the British system or American B in maths, I'm not the best one in terms of that. Let's see. It will be according to the start, but it's 9 places up. This is how the position change. How was the position changes? As now Vilsu will try to overtake his teammate, and he does it successfully. I don't think Loki will fight back. Maxro gets the 3-second time penalty, and at the third one, because he has total 16. Luke is overtaken by Champ. So both medium runners are going pretty well. Meanwhile, you can see in the background, Westerhouse is fighting Bricky, and he gets promoted by 1 place. We'll switch to Vince, because this is the question now. If he is able to catch Guil, Guil escapes a bit now. You can see the gap is less than 3 seconds, so it's a matter of possible penalty. We're in lap 22 right now. As now Vince goes into the straight, the DRS zone number 3. Even though it's technically the main straight. I call this one a zone 3. Don't ask me why. Wilzu touches the apex, but very, very barely, so there is no fear of himself spinning. Luke is dropped into 11th already. And Wilzu is around 3 seconds, he has done a mistake, and this causes Loki with get the possibility to fight back for the 5th. Is he going to try it? No, he does not. He stays behind his teammate, so we can see that teamwork is going on. When Champ tried to overtake Trustmake, he will have the opportunity again. But Trustmake is also trying to overtake Axe into turn 4. Is he going to make the move down? They are going will to will, and Trustmake goes ahead into P7. Julian and Guil both have DRS, please get camera on them. I will check the gaps, but I'm focused now on the direct fighting, like drivers actually going will to will with each other. You can see that Champ is trying to make a move on Axe, and he goes down the inside into turn 11, makes the move. That was surprising, to be honest. But both drivers kept it clean. As right now Axe has DRS on Champ, but I doubt if he'll make a move. Because Champ is that fast, he will get Trustmake very, very soon into turn 1. And he gets the 7th place. This is the chance for Champ to get first points this season. He has got 1 podium last season, it was 2nd place in Spain. Unless you can correct me, there is some kind of archival settings on the website, which is on the description, by the way. You can correct me if he has scored multiple podiums in season 4. Now he got 7th, and this will be the first points for him. Brett has got a terrible start of season 4, but he ended up winning 2 races and still fighting for the 6th in the championship. Axe overtakes Trustmake for the 8th. Salfera, meanwhile, has coming back to F3. Salfera has done over 20 laps on hards, like 25 or something, and he still survived. So I wonder how it will be with the hard runners right now. Let's see the tires again. Not here, here. 14 laps for the top 3. Then we have Gul with 13. Vildu catches up, but I think it's too slow to get a podium. Unless use that power battery. You have 2%, come on. Half of a second is separating Jakub and Julian. Is Red Bull driver going to get a 2nd podium in a row? He might feel like it isn't enough because he's the chance of winning. Javier gets overtaken by Pricky for the 15th place. Because Pricky is on hards. So it means that the Italian might have some problems. Maybe with tires. He gets 3-second tire penalty. So maybe something with tire management is going on right now. Maybe drivers have over 60% of tire wear, and this makes the race interesting. Because at this point, when you have 60% of tire wear, the puncture may happen anytime. Like, remember Champ in Italian Grand Prix season 4. He was just over 60% of tire wear, and he still got a puncture. Well, he was leading, and he got it on the last lap. I don't wish it to any driver. I don't want it, to be honest. Maxro is now trying to make the fastest lap because he'll probably pit for softs. Like, this is the last thing he can do in this race. Like, he's over a minute behind. Will is now trying to overtake Julian. There's a bit of weaving, but it's out for now. Guil tries to go down the inside for the 3rd, and he goes for it. makes the job done. And to third place he goes. He's also gained 1/10 on that, but it's only 1/10. Now both of these drivers are going to fight Yagijan for position number 2. Brett is way ahead. Look, also pits for soft tires, so he will also fight for the fastest lap. We can see such a beautiful view on the Sakia track. I hope it will stay with us as long as possible. Not anymore. But we are going into turn 11 on the DRS straight. Now Yagijan tries to go down the inside. He has DRS somehow. No, we are watching Guil. I literally messed up because the camera was literally showing the Red Bull driver. Lap 26 we are. But we will switch into the battle for 8th. Until the top 2, the drivers top 4 will go into the main straight. But we can see that Patrick is going with Max through his laps. Okay, back to the top. There is Julian trying to get far, not this time. But now he has another chance. So let's watch the AlphaTauri and Renault driver. Meanwhile, Pricky goes into the pits. No, it's TamTam going for the fastest lap again. As right now, Patrick fights Axe. As Patrick goes out of the track, he stays on the P10. Back to the top again. There is Julian locking up like everyone else into turn 10. And you can see that Vilso is only a second behind. This is a chance for him to get the second podium this season. Because you can see, he has won in Australia in this season. And now he has an opportunity for another podium. Because he's now 1 second behind. He will get DRS, if not in this, then on the last lap of the race. And he's on medium tires, which are definitely faster on the same wear comparing to hards. So now it's only himself deciding if he will get the second, or maybe third, or maybe fourth, or maybe he will stay fifth. He's 1.3. We will stay with Guil trying to get Yagijan's second place. Wheel to wheel into turn 1, and Guil takes it. Maxro makes the fastest lap. As now Yagijan tries to fight back, and he goes into second place again. Now he has DRS, Guil does not. Julian is now going to fight Guil, or maybe no. He will stay behind. But there's going to be at the last lap. Very, very soon. They're going wheel to wheel. We remember the times of Season 2 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, when Vils was going peacefully on 4th. But Luke and Jody have crashed on the last straight. I don't wish it to any driver. I'm just reminding you about the history of ERO. That Vils was going peacefully on 4th. Then the leaders crashed. And he got a podium. Surprisingly. There's Max letting by F1 after himself doing the fastest lap. But Vils is right behind Julian. This is going to be intense last lap for all the drivers from 2nd to 5th. And there is also a chance for Loki to get 5th. 6th, sorry. So this can be another great weekend for Racing Point, fighting for the Constructors' Championship with Red Bull and AlphaTauri. Even though Red Bull has 82 points right now, after great Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But now Guil is fighting Yagijan into turn 1. And he takes the 2nd place. Yagijan is going to fight back. He has the better inside line and he goes 2nd and keep going wheel to wheel. Guil is out of the track. Now he takes 2nd. No, it's Yagijan. And we have almost a 3 wide. Guil goes down the inside, takes the 2nd place. Meanwhile, there's almost a 4 wide again. Debut driver goes pretty well. And he stays 2nd. Julian goes around the outside. And he stays on the 3rd anyway. will stay with Vilzu. Brett is about to win the Bahrain Grand Prix and become the 5th winner. There's a contact between Jagishan and Vilzu again. Jump and Loki has already copped up like 1/2 of a second. And Vilzu takes the 4th place for the Turkish driver. Also Julian goes wheel to wheel with Guil. Is he going to take the 2nd on the last corner? He pushes Guil out on the track, but the French driver will fight back. This is the last corner of the race. And Julian takes the 2nd. Vilzu goes 3rd on the last corner. Vilzu gets 2nd podium of the season and last corner of the race. There are yellow flags in sector 3. Julian 2nd, but Brett is on the 1st place, winning the Bahrain Grand Prix. Incident-free race, to be honest, but Guil has lost 2 places on last lap, on last 2 corners. Jagishan 5th, Jump 6th, Loki 7th, then we have Patrick, Trasbeck and Axel closing the top 10. I'm back. I was just checking something on the stream. I was out for a little second, but there is Brett winning the Bahrain Grand Prix. Such a great race it was, with a very massive fight, with very big amount of fighting. That was seriously a great one. Meanwhile, I'll be hosting a conference very soon, but we have to show you the standings. So basically, it's Brett winning the Bahrain Grand Prix, 4 and 9/10 of a second ahead of Julian. Then we have Vilzu on the 3rd, surprising podium. Guil, Jagishan with a pole position point. I guess we have also the new leader of the standings. You can also see that no one from the top 10 has got a penalty. So basically, I'm going to host a conference right now with the top 3, because we have seen the standings. Like, the gap between 1st and 10th is only 14 seconds. Brett, Julian, Vilzu, conference. I have joined the Discord call and I'm going to check out if I'm on the right output. I don't think so. Okay, I know what to do. And I think I can switch the scene into the conference room. Voice chat speakers, thank you. So the next track seems to be Monaco. So somebody has done an entire calendar of tracks. Like put randomly. And it's jump. we'll have Brett in a single minute, it seems. So we just need Vilzu, Brett, and Julian. Like, Vilzu has done it again. Maybe this was not in Baku where both the drivers DNF'd, but he still has got last podium place, like the third place. He's got the podium again due to an accident ahead of him. Maybe it was just a little slide, very little slide from Guil, but it was worth being taken from the third place for a podium. I'm already filling the standings before every other driver comes up. If you ask, Brett is not the leader again. Brett is 1 point behind. So 12 points go to Guil. Great drive by the debut driver. But I can see that some of these guys in the league have literally the esports potential. We have been talking about that about Maxro last season. Now I can say many of them have the chance. Like maybe I'm serious. Four points go to Patrick. Will I have finally any other people on the conference? This is the question. We'll have them in a minute. I'm going to reveal you the standings anyway. 2 points Trustmike, 1 Axe. Who has got the fastest lap, by the way? It's going to be... Oh, it's you. And your name is Brett and Wilson. Hello. I'm just checking if the sound works, so say something.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome the 5th winner of this season. Welcome, Julian.
I don't want to talk.
Thank you.
Can we just ignore that qualifying happened?
What happened?
Well, I was doing 24 threes in every session all day, and then all of a sudden I get too nervous and bottle in the actual thing.
Shame.
Okay, let's not talk about it. Like, again, I need to say that, but Vilsu, you know that history tends to repeat, right?
Exactly, man.
Uh,
It happened again, prime time.
Like, I'm not talking about this, but about season 2. You know how you got your first podium.
Asking me again because I saw the report from the champ.
I mean, the season 2. You remember your first podium?
Yes, I remember from Baku.
Yeah, and the circumstances. That's it. Like this has happened again.
It feels like a deja vu in my opinion. Like those last 2 laps was so intense. Joining for the battle against 3 very fast guys, and the strategy paid off very nicely. And I was pretty sure that something happened between those 3, that there was a collision or something like that. So I was waiting and waiting patiently to find a good gap and then going for the overtake. But the last corner was Gil. I don't know what he was even thinking about there. But anyway, I'm very happy with this.
Well, that was a piece of a race, and you kept battling like 4 whites, not 4 whites, but 4 people, 5 people at the same time. That was literally
What?
That was crazy.
Last lap, because Julian, you were like 4th, and then all of a sudden you were 2nd.
Yeah.
but with Guil.
and Jackie-san, they were battling so hard, so I just could get P2 easily. But yeah, that was so intense. Last two corners, side by side, crazy.
I thought
Crazy.
someone got a puncture or something.
Who's got a puncture?
No, I thought someone got a puncture.
I think that's nobody.
I almost spun.
I also asked about your tire wear at the finish of the race.
My tire wear was about 77% at the end.
Whoa. Julian and Vizdu, how it was?
Yeah, I think it was
Ask me again.
75.
We couldn't hear Julian.
75 or 80, I don't know. I
And
didn't
Vizdu?
look.
Of those you mean those mediums?
Yep.
My mediums were something like 60% on the last lap, so the strategy was very nice. I
Hard
pitted on
medium
lap,
strategy is so
lap
fast.
17 with the hearts, and then to the mediums, and I didn't feel any tire wear in like whatnot. So it was good strategy.
Did you do a two-stop?
I did once.
Nah, he did hard medium, which is like an
Oh,
OP
yeah.
strategy.
And that paid off. I think I have a question to Brad, like how it looked like escaping from the rest of the grid.
It wasn't really. It was more like I didn't really want to build a gap because I knew if I tried to build a gap, then I would probably get a puncture. So I just kind of tried to keep the gap and just drive consistent laps, and that happened. I was still scared of a puncture though because I know Champ got a puncture in Italy last season when he was in the lead with 71%. So I was like, oh god.
Well, you can
But
get
no,
a
it was
puncture
all
at any time from this point. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to say what happened last season.
good.
For your teammate, of course, not you.
Yeah, that was I was like that. Those last two corners of the race, I was like, I swear to God, if I get a puncture now. But no, I didn't have.
Okay, question to Julian. Were you fourth when the lap 29 started, like the last lap?
Yes, I was. Just
So,
waiting patiently for mistakes, and yeah, it paid out pretty nice.
like, this was a piece of overtaking on the last lap.
Yeah, Gil was pretty aggressive. He was just pushing me, like not off the track, but he wanted to. But I just did the switchback.
I will send you the report links from the other drivers. Champ reported me
What?
on the internet and reports from the lap 1, but let's see how it goes. But my opinion of Yaki-san wasn't that happy about the like the wait, man, you wait me on the. Come on, you're hitting me in the back and giving me the advantage. You didn't deserve it, man. I'm sorry. Like Yagi-san from the last lap fight. Well, I don't know how to discuss about it. I'm so speechless at the moment. I don't know how to say that. I'm not good positions in hot temperature surfaces like in Bahrain, so I'm confused.
So
You
basically,
improved big time from last season.
well, I think it's kind of a teaser of a great ending to the season. This Bahrain Grand Prix. I hope for more battles in Abu Dhabi, by the way. I don't feel like I have any more questions anyway. I'm just going to tell you the standings. Julian still leads the championship with 65 points. Brett is second, 64.
1 point.
Yep, the gap is 1 point. Vilsudan is third with 49. Fourth and fifth accent Patrick, 33, 42.
Wait a second, I'm going to watch the.
Yep, you're third.
I'm going to leave the conference if it's okay for you all the guys, because I really want to now check those reports what Yagi-san and Champ reported about me. So yeah, thank you for all of the company today. It was a great race. Bahrain is one of my favorite tracks in the calendar. So thanks for inviting me to the conference. I'm still quite speechless what honestly happened, but let's hope that we can race like this on the Abu Dhabi, which is a very boring track in my opinion. But anyway, good night for you guys.
GG.
Yeah, I'm
GG,
also
man.
saying GG because I have witnessed it.
Yes, GG indeed. Bye.
So I guess we'll finish this stream right here. Brett is the only one left. Anything to say? Brad? I think nothing to say. So I'll just start with inviting you to the next weekend, which is Abu Dhabi, which I have already told. Another kind of a track with some overtaking opportunities limited to the DRS actually. And this is where we are finishing the stream, where we are finishing the Bahrain Grand Prix. And we will see you Friday 6 p.m. UK, F5, F4. Then they will tell you when the next race is, like the higher divisions on the commentating booth. For now, goodbye and see you next week. Maybe some more great racing